Today we're going to be talking about buttons. Whether you hate them or you love them in Power BI, they are an essential piece of report functionality for building out more and more complex reports. Welcome back to our video series on Power BI Basics. Today we're just reviewing buttons, but if you're interested in Power BI in general, why don't you go ahead and you watch some of the other videos in this series, which I'll link as a link right now. All right, so buttons. So I have gone ahead and I have opened up the Microsoft sample dashboard, which is their sales and return sample v 2019-12. If you want to use this specific dashboard, if you search that title and then search Microsoft Power BI dashboards, it will be available on their GitHub. However, it's not going to be necessary for today's video. So first, let's talk about how to insert a button. To insert a button, you go Insert, and then you go Buttons, and you select a button. Microsoft has a bunch of pre-built buttons here that typically relate to pre-built functionalities. However, any button shape can do any button activity typically. So for example, right here, I just inserted in a left arrow. What I can then go ahead and do is I can turn on the button action, and this is how you set the action to a button, and I can select what it's going to do. So I can say it's either going to go back, I can say it's going to go to a bookmark, which is a subject we're covering in an upcoming video. So if you're interested in what bookmarks are, go ahead and subscribe because we have another video coming. I can set it to drill through into another visual, which again, we do have a video coming on that. I can set it to navigate to a specific page, which is what we're going to set to next, right? So I can select a page down below that it should navigate to. I can also set it to Q&A, right? Which is a Microsoft interactive feature. I can set it to a web link, so it opens up a web page. I can make it apply all slicers or clear all slicers. And if you have apply all slicers and clear all slicers enabled, just so you know, typically it will, for apply all slicers, it will hold to apply slicer values until someone clicks apply all, with the advantage being that you're getting a performance benefit. And then it will clear all slicers, will only clear visible slicers. So just heads up on that. But you can set all of these different actions. You also can insert in two different types of navigator buttons. So a page navigator is going to be all of the different pages that you can navigate in between. So you can kind of have this in the same spot on a page and then use it to navigate around. And then a bookmark navigator is the same thing as a page navigator, only it allows you to navigate it through your bookmarks. In this case, we haven't covered what bookmarks are, but just know that you can switch in between bookmarks. All right. So let's cover some button stylings. So you can style a lot with a button. So the first thing that you can do is you can change its shape. So for example, if I wanted to go and change this to a pill and then turn on a border, I can do that. I can then also go through and I can switch on its text, and I can make this say go back, right? And here it is. Right here, right next to this icon, and I can set this all the way up. All right. Finally, I can control the icon. So in this case, right here, I have all these icons, and then I can also select a custom icon, which can be an image that I select kind of out of the blue. And then within that custom icon, you can then choose where it sits and how it fills. All right, if I didn't want an icon, I could remove this, and then I could set my text to center. So now I have a button that says go back, and then I can go ahead and I can set a border, a fill, a shadow, or a glow. So for example, there's a shadow, it makes it look 3D, and I can have this shadow be transparent or based on conditional formatting, which we just reviewed in the last video that we just covered. So if you're interested in that, I'll link it up here, or you can find it on my channel. We also can go through and we can set glow, right? So that's another another option, and I notice I turned off border, so here's glow, right? And glow can also be based on conditional, and you can adjust, for example, right here. But then you can also go ahead and you can edit the button states. So what are the states of the button? Well, if you notice right now, we're currently editing in the default state. However, if I wanted to have the button change visually in some kind of state, I can select it to on hover, and then I could change the font color to red. So now, right, I'm hovering, see it's highlighting. And so this is how you bring a lot more interactivity into buttons, because this feels a lot more alive to people. All right, so that is buttons. And also one more thing right here, right? Size and style, you can always go ahead and you can adjust it. You can also control padding. You can give it a title and you can rotate it. You know, so if I wanted this to be at an angle, I can go ahead and do it, and it'll rotate it within the shape, which is kind of fun. Same with text, right? If I wanted the text to rotate with a button, I could do that. But that is buttons. All right, so let's review what we learned. So first of all, you can insert a button by going Insert and then Buttons. Within buttons, they have a few different types. There are preset actions for most of these different types of buttons, but you can also just use them for their icons. In order to have a button do something, you first have to turn on action in the formatting pane, and then you expand the action, and then you can control the action type. Once there's various different types of action types, and you can see that list here. And then finally, you can set all kinds of style properties, including the actual shape of the button, and then what the button does when you roll over or hover on it. So that's a brief intro to buttons. We didn't build anything pretty here, but I hope that you took this away and that your head is already kind of turning and you're thinking about different project ideas. If there's any questions that I didn't answer, let me know down in the comments, or if there's anything I was unclear about, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be happy to make another video. And if you enjoyed this one and you want to continue to learn about Power BI, subscribe. All right, thanks for watching.